Hello, Rick, in video. Today we're going to take a look at some gameplay here for the Great League with the newly released version, the Frenzy Point version of Chesnaught. And of course, Great League is not yet available, but it's going to be available in a few hours. I think actually 9 hours from when I release this video. First game here, we're gonna get completely destroyed by a chandelier. You already see it here. We do have definitely a weakness to fire types with this team, but at least in normal Great League, there are basically 0 fire types around. This is just people having some fun in friendly battles here, so that's totally fine. Like most people, at least, you wouldn't face any fire type currently, at least, sadly. Especially since the recent update with Noctowl, the best fire type was Alolan Marowak, and Alolan Marowak is basically nowhere to be seen. I actually don't know which fire types are otherwise really common, maybe Talonflame, but that's also not really something that people really use anymore, so fire is sadly still not a type that is really common in the Go Battle League, or like there's not a single Pokemon that's really good with it. I guess Charizard is, but Charizard also doesn't have the best matchup there, thanks to the part flying typing again. But yeah, this team is something that I'm more put together in like a few minutes there, but there might be some better teams around this. Maybe I showcase this Pokemon again later on, but this team still worked out pretty well. Most mistakes, well, like most losses that I got actually were my own mistakes because I played some games pretty horrible. Usually, like this is an issue with which I just have with myself, to be fair. A lot of games I just try to play so perfect that I misplay them, which is kind of funny because you're going to see some examples later on as well. Like I completely hardwall my opponent and I try to make it so perfect that my opponent doesn't get farmed, like later on, that my opponent just double shields or like shields and just can farm me down instead. Well, I didn't expect that to happen, so that's kind of always awkward. But we're going to see this at least later. We will see here a Swampert coming back in. We can go for some Sky attacks. And of course, Swampert is something that you like to face with the Chesnaught, and Chesnaught in general is a very cool Pokemon in this league, as we have a ton of Pokemon that really are weak against it, like Swampert. We have the Galarian Stunfisk, we have in general nearly all the steel types. Mainly its bread and butter is still going to be Superpower, as you can see here as well against the Noctowl. We will be able to do a ton of damage. I actually mainly lost against anti-meta, like just random teams with Pokemon that you don't really see all the time. I think against all those meta teams, this team actually worked out really well. Just those people who memed against me were actually pretty decent against me, which is kind of wild, to be fair. Here we see the opponent with the Noctowl going to go ahead and go for the Sky attack. You know already what we're going to have to do here. We have to go for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is always the way to go against a normal type for sure. Always easily enough to knock them out. Next opponent coming through here, we will face Chesnaught against Lapras. Awkward for this team as well a little bit because you have a double ice weakness basically. I feel like more ice types coming back now, like they are basically gone completely after Walrein got nerfed, but I feel like they're coming back slowly but surely. So maybe something better than Noctowl in the back. Noctowl in the back is like the one Pokemon that I'm kind of like, could have been like, there could have been a better one for it. I don't know, let me know in the comment section what you would put there. Maybe something like Bastion in the back, but then you could be a little bit too weak against the fighting type Pokemon. That's the main reason why I didn't have that there. Let me know in the comment section, it would be interesting to know. Maybe even Galarian Stunfisk would be a good pairing as well, but like this, I guess it would be a little bit better there. We will face here the Venusaur. We will be able to catch the move perfectly on our Noctowl. Amazing there for us, as they're going to swap out into a Hypno, and Hypno does not like our backline at all. We have a Ghost type, and we're going to have also Shadow Ball on the Noctowl, which is going to make a big dent into the health there. We'll be able to actually take this incoming Fire Punch as well, as the Sky attack going to knock them straight out. And this is going to be a good game already. I can just farm down the Venusaur most likely, or even get to a move here. We're very close to the Avalanche, and this Avalanche will be able to knock out the opponent. Very good game there. Moving on to the next game, we're going to face here the Chesnaught versus Munchlax. Pretty decent lead for us. Again, very interesting Pokemon that you rarely see. Was hoping that they would run Tackle, because my Frosted would be a perfect save swap for it, but like this, Frosted is usually the save swap for this team, but actually I really think that other Pokemon like Bastion or Galarian Stunfisk would be a little bit more beneficial on the back there. Wish there was more, or actually like Skarmory would be also pretty cool. Of course, then you're going to have the fire weakness again though, but Skarmory would be also very cool. I really wish that there were better fire types, but for this team it's definitely good that there are not better fire types around. We'll face this Munchlax here again, which will get kind of walled by our Noctowl because the lick damage is double resisted, and we can just go ahead, go for one Sky Attack, try to farm down maybe afterwards. Let's see how much damage it does. Maybe a little bit too much to farm all the way down, so I'm going to throw my charge move here, and we're going to face another grass type in the bag. This time around it's going to be Kartana, which actually does more damage than I thought. Have to go into our Chesnaught here. Chesnaught goes for superpower, and Chesnaught can even reach another one to finish off the opponent's Kartana here. Good game there. Let's go into the next game coming up. Spicy Gecko here. We will see Chesnaught versus Growlithe. That's kind of awkward. Speaking of fire types, this is not something that you usually see, at least in the Go Battle League. This is a Hundo Hisuian Growlithe. Maybe doesn't showcase his team too good for at least the normal Great League, but still, funny one here. We will see that we can go for one close comment for one superpower here as they swap into a Venusaur, which I didn't see, which was very good from them. I can swap out into my Noctowl, but we still have to maneuver around basically. I'm going to, you see me here not throwing immediately because I want to get a ton of energy here. Sludge Bomb coming through, fine for me. I'm going to be able to go for Sky Attack now. They're most likely going to let this move go through, and I should be able to get to another Shadow Ball against them, which works out pretty well here. Very important for me that I get to the Shadow Ball, as I'm going to be able to get the shield from the opponent. And I am going to shield up as well because I need the Shadow Ball to land against them. They know that as well. Very good recognition there, and they go into their Ivysaur, which I am going to go for an undercharged Sky Attack. So I will be able to farm them all the way down with my Frosters and hopefully get to the Shadow Ball against the Hisuian Growlithe. The damage here doesn't really matter too much. Power Whip's still going to hurt, but it doesn't hurt enough, as we will be able to go ahead and go for one Shadow Ball and knock out the Growlithe. Played around a little bit. It was an awkward one, but we still managed to win this game here. Very good game there. Very cool Pokemon as well. Next opponent, we will face a Swampert in the lead. Swampert going to be decent, of course, but it really depends on what they have in the bag. They're going to have a Noctowl in the bag. Making more mistakes here in this game, I think. Here, for example, I could just go straight for the Avalanche. What do? I'm going to let the move go through. It's going to be a Shadow Ball, and I can now not longer realign my Pokemon. Isn't this smart? It's not smart. I don't know what I was doing here, but like, I guess I was too sleepy or whatever. I had a long day, so I'm recording this basically currently at night for the next day. You're going to see it one day later. Actually on 1 PM, I think, because I need more time to do a top teams for Great League video again, coming out at least my time, 7 PM. Usual time where I usually put out my second video. I'm going to make another video for the Great League, just because we're going to have 3 weeks of Great League now, and we're going to have the Go Battle Day as well, or like the Go Battle weekend now, coming up ahead on Friday, so most people are going to be more interested in those cups there, as we face here that our Chesnaught will be a core breaker for the opponent. By the way, a very cool play by the opponent to run Psychic there. I was thinking of shielding the move and was like, there's no way they're running Psychic here on that right, and yeah, I was wrong, I guess. But it doesn't really help them either. We can go for 2 superpowers here. We have like 3 superpowers against the opponent's Noctowl, against the opponent's Umbreon. What we can do here as well, we can take one move. I know that I survived one, and I can go for one Shadow Ball, because if we flex with our Noctowl today, we're going to flex all the way. Goodbye, Umbreon. Next opponent, we're going to face a horrible lead, basically the worst possible lead there with the Noctowl. I have to go into my own Noctowl here. So basically the other save swap that I would have. Again, I think it might be better to have something like Bastion on the back, but I wasn't really in the mood for Bastion, so yeah. We will see Stunfisk coming in. That's pretty decent. Actually, I think with Bastion on the back, this would be nearly perfect, because you're going to be able to get out the Stunfisk with your Frosters, and I think if you get some extra energy, you will be able to get a shield advantage with your Frosters as well. So you're always going to be able to have like some kind of advantage with the Frosters. So I think if you would be able to run a Steel type in the back, like basically actually need every Steel type, but Bastion doesn't really have the weakness against Fire type Pokemon if you're a little bit too scared about this one. Otherwise, you would have a triple fire weakness, which would be a little bit tricky. But here we're still going to be able to throw one move against them. I can take this move because it's just going to be the Sky Attack, as we see that we can farm them down. And they're going to go ahead and go back into their Stunfisk. Here, it's going to be a little bit tricky. I have to try to swap out onto their charge move, hopefully in time. But we're going to have, of course, the shield first, all the moves from the opponent. The switch time is coming up slowly but surely. We can go ahead and shield up another move here from the opponent. And I should have thrown earlier already. I am throwing here right now, which is a CMP type, because I wasn't able to swap out in time, literally by like a split second, and this is going to cost us the game, because I can still get to the rock side here and they survived with 1 HP. And yes, I could have went for 1 Frenzy Plant here already, wouldn't have knocked them out, so I would have at least needed 2. I think I would have even knocked them out with 2 Frenzy Plants here, but if I just threw earlier against the opponent there, like 1 charge move before, basically, or 1 fast move before, I would have been able to swap out in time. I would have been way better off, but again, I'm making very, very stupid mistakes here, all on me, as we face Stunfisk against us again, and we're gonna get the shield here, which is very good. The shield is something I take for sure, as I can take 1 Rock Slide with our Frosters. Frosters will be able to retaliate with 1 more Avalanche, and they're going to have to actually shield another one because they were too greedy and overfarmed too much. This one gonna get shielded. I can go ahead and go into my Chesnaught. There are 2 shields down now, and we will find out here that we will see Venusaur on the back again. That was their lead before. And I'm going to shield up the move here because Shadow Sludge Bomb would have done a ton of damage. They're gonna go for Frenzy Plants. I have to basically throw immediately here. And still going to be a close one. Let's see what they have in the back though. We see the Stunfisk coming back in. I'm going to let this move go through. Going to be another Rock Slide here. I'm not sure if I don't get to my next move in time. And I'm going to shield this move up just in case I need my Noctowl still. And I'm going to be able to, of course, not farm them down by 1 HP. Amazing here again. We will see the Sky Attack knocking them out at least. And we see a Noctowl in the back. This is a little bit tricky. I wonder if we can still win this game here. We will see the Sky Attack coming through, gonna do some nice damage, and we can still get to another one. I think this was a CMP tie, which will be crucial as this will allow us to now go ahead and knock them hopefully out with our Chesnaught here. They are out of energy. We have a superpower, and this superpower, you know it already, hurts those normal flying types a lot. Goodbye there. As we face the next opponent, another Lapras in the lead here. Lapras in the lead, we see a Galvantula as a Sasaur, which is horrible for us again. Again, would have been better to have a Bastion in the back there. Galvantula is a core breaker for the entire team. There is actually no Pokemon on this team that can win against it. Very good, but like, again, how often do you see Galvantula in the Go Battle League? At least I see it rarely. I don't know actually the last time I actually saw it in Open Great League, but we will be able to go ahead and go for 1 more Avalanche, get the final shield by the opponent, get hopefully now a shield advantage against them as well, as we can go ahead and go for 1 more superpower. The superpower will knock them out, and they're actually going to go for their Lapras again, which is interesting. I thought of going straight for the superpower, but I didn't. I'm going to be able to survive the serve, and they're going to swap out now into their Dedenne, which I'm going to have to throw my charge move against. Going to be, of course, a Frenzy Plant. Gonna get them low. I have to overfarm a little bit to try to get to another superpower in time as well. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to now swap out into my Noctowl. I should be able to survive 1 move here. I have to throw immediately, basically. But because we're going to be able to win CMP here with our Chesnaught against the opponent's Lapras, this should be already a good game. As that Denny goes down, we will be able to go ahead and go for another charge move here. And Sky Attack definitely puts them into range as well. I wasn't sure before, but I'm pretty sure it would have killed it already before. Like this, there is nothing my opponent can do here anymore. We can go for 1 Frenzy Plant. This Frenzy Plant going to knock them out. And this is going to be a good game. Very well played there, but we can go into the final match. And this is one of the most, annoying matches. We won the lead pretty hard here, very cool. We will be able to win the save swap pretty hard here as well. And here is, for example, one way I tried to play too perfect and basically screwed up because of that. I will be able to go for the Sky Attack basically immediately. The debuffs don't really matter too much to me. And I thought like, okay, they have a Bastion. Bastion has access to the move Flamethrower. I don't really want to get hit with a Flamethrower on my Pokemon that I have in the lead, which is going to be the Chesnaught. So I don't want to give them a lot of farm. Turns out I was not really the smartest person about this, because I am now in a range where they can farm me down and I cannot go for more than 2 Sky Attacks. Means I either get 2 shields advantage, but not even. The fast move just came through before. They have a 1 HP left, and I'm going to be not able to realign. I would have hardwalled my opponent otherwise. And because I just tried to play it too fancy. I just shouldn't play it too fancy. And here I played too fancy, which really hurt me here, because I will have 0 chance now, because now I get hardwalled before I hardwalled my opponent. So this is going to be it for this game, and this is also going to be it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. This is definitely an interesting Pokemon to use. Definitely, I think, worth it to build a Chesnaught if you haven't done that yet. Has a lot of cool potential matchups, but it's difficult to get them into place. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to forfeit now, and yeah, see you on the next one. Bye!